Hello there everybody, this is General Snivy and welcome back to more Let's Play The Last Remnant. Today we're going to be taking on the final batch of side quests in the game, and I hit my desk because hitting desks is the most wonderful thing ever. No, it isn't. It just sucks. It does. Okay, now for the batch of side quests we're taking on today, we're going to be taking care of all the witch side quests. Yeah, we're getting all the witch side quests done today. Not only that, but we're going to be taking care of one more side quest that we could have completed a long time ago technically, but I wanted to wait until now because I want to get a specific class out of this guy. In other words, Jorgen. We're finally going to be completing the quest Amnesia. There are 7 versions of Jorgen, and depending on what items you give him and what order you give them to him, I think it just depends on what items you give him, he'll turn into one of 7 different classes. There's I can't exactly remember them all off the top of my head, but the one I went for is the commander, or the general. Yeah, the general. That's the one I went for. So there's that, plus there's the raider. Shoot, what are the other classes? I know there's like a mage one, one's like an adventurer, and there are 3 others. I'll be sure to put a link in the description of all possible Jorgens. If I end up forgetting about that, please remind me and I'll be sure to correct it as soon as possible. But anyways, you can only get one particular Jorgen per playthrough, by the way. And also, to get the Jorgen I got, which was the general, you have to give him the... There are several combinations, but it involves the shield. And you can get the shield as soon as you enter Underworld. So yeah, as soon as you enter Underworld and get the Shield of Remembrance, that'll be when you can complete the quest Amnesia and get the general version of it. Unless you give him the wrong items in the wrong order. Which, by the way, I did that the first time on my first, well, more or less. It was on a previous recording session. Like, I gave him another item that I wasn't supposed to give him, and he turned into a raider. And I did not want the raider Jorgen, unfortunately. I just didn't want it, okay? I wanted the general. That's the one I wanted to go for. Because all around, in my opinion, the general version of Jorgen definitely has the best stats from what I can tell. Maybe there's another class that outclasses it, but really for all that I've looked up, and by the way I looked up all 7, the general looked the best to me. Now for the next batch of side quests. I kind of freaked out also during the witch side quest because one of the witches didn't show up. I was like, okay, where is she? Where did she go? Oh my god, I'm freaking out. Did I miss a side quest? So I looked up the particular witch side quest chain online on the Last Remnant wiki, and I found that yes, I was in the right place the first time. It's just for some reason she didn't show up on my radar. Yeah. And do you want to know where she is? She's in this little component shop. Odd, isn't it? I seriously don't know how she eluded my radar the first time I went through, but whatever, she's here now. Now for the witch side quests themselves, they don't take very long. And really, I should be talking about the witch herself. Because once we complete this chain of side quests, she will become recruitable. So yeah, I kind of spoiled the reward in the end, but whatever, who cares? That's not really here. Bleh. It's not really the reason why I'm making this long video today. Well, that's one of them anyway. By the way, the witch's name is... Shoot, what is her name again? It's not Haruko, that's an entirely different person. Dang it, I done forgot her name. Wow, that's pretty sad. Well, once you complete the chain of witch side quests anyway, she'll become recruitable for you to bring along your party of misfits, and she is recruitable in Illusion's Union of the Golden Chalice. So in other words, the first guild. Excuse me. Also, by the way, if you want to start this chain of witch side quests, begin the chain in Underworld, because that's where the first witch is located, and then you begin the chain from there. And you do have to complete them in order, otherwise she's not going to show up in the other locations. Not until you go to the right place at the right time. Hello, anyone home? Also, you're going to need a good bit of money for this side quest too. I can't exactly remember how much exactly, but I do know it's a pretty good bit, so bring at least 150,000 to 200,000 gil. Why am I thinking Final Fantasy? I have no idea. No idea. Oh dear. What I was trying to say was, bring at least 200,000 gold with you for this side quest. And I just read the witch's name, and it begins with a K. I can't even pronounce it. Wow, that's pretty sad. Now for the large majority of the side quest today. In order to trigger this side quest, you have to talk to Loki 3 times when he has the red bubble above his head and get to know him better. Then, at this point, after the events in Underworld and the Holy Plains, well, more or less after you enter Underworld, Rhea will show up in the town square of Athlum, so be sure to talk to her and then go to the pub in Athlum and you'll be able to start the side quest with Loki. And speaking of the devil, here we are. We're in the pub. Yay, pubs are awesome. Let's have a quick drink. Too bad I don't have anything to drink with me, so dang it. Oh well. Now, for the main point of the side quest, Loki overheard some merchants saying that there's this flower on Mount Vackel, saying that this particular flower can restore one's eyesight if they are blind. Which is a really revolutionary thing. I wish something like this would exist in real life. You know, you can cure the blind very easily. I mean, sure, you can do that technically today with today's technology, but that involves some really technical and confusing medical science. And I think it involves installing like metal rods within your brain where it would function for vision and other things if you are a blind person. I really don't know how this works. If anyone is familiar within the medical science field and know how this particular piece of medical history works, please let me know. Love to hear it. Love to hear more details about it. I really ought to do more research online. Whatever. Didn't even think about it until just now. Now for the next trip on the Mount Vackel, or more or less this one. This trip, we're going to be starting on the summit. The summit of Mount Vackel, of which we enter Underworld at. Why here instead of the bottom? I don't know, I guess because the game wanted us to be there. Because starting at the summit is like the best thing ever, because then we can go sleigh riding and then fly off the mountain and then break our necks. Just kidding. Don't do that. Don't go sleigh riding off the mountain. Doesn't quite work that way. I think you'd have to call on a helicopter to come and pick you up or something. I don't know. I never done mountain climbing. I'm afraid of heights. There's no way in hell I'm going to be climbing a mountain in this lifetime. There is just absolutely no way. Seriously, don't even try. Sweet. Now, we've learned the most valuable spell in the game, Chictaxia, or whatever the heck the name of the spell is. Whatever, I talked about it before in like a video or so ago. Yeah, 2 videos ago. I said I'm probably not going to be able to learn the spell in this playthrough. Well, son of a bitch, it done slapped me in the face and said like, here, you want it? You can have it. About time, a little late, but I'm glad to have it now. It'll definitely come in handy for future guild tasks for whenever I take them on. Once again, it's not going to be for a long time, because once I finish this game and finish the main playthrough, That's it, I'm gonna be moving on to other games. Well, at this point in the side quest, we now finally found this magical flower that can restore one's eyesight. Now we just have to... Oh dear. Looks like this flower has been guarded by 2 evil dragons. Don't believe me? Well, let the battle begin, and I shall show you what I mean. See, 2 dragons. A welcome dragon and a regular dragon. Yeah, it's not a D-ragon, but a dragon. The dragons are more powerful than D-ragons. What's the difference? I have absolutely no idea. Now it's time to fight the welcome dragon as he welcomes us with open arms, and we zap it like a bug. And use bewitch, cause witches, they shit me breeches. What the hell am I talking about? I have no idea. Also, I apologize for my French. Pretty dang bad today. Now, what can I talk about today? Well, I've recently talked about that I've recently purchased myself a Super Nintendo. That is true. And it has arrived about a week or 2 ago. At least when I'm recording this video. Excuse me. Now, when I first got the Super Nintendo, it wasn't working the way it should have. When I turned on the Super Nintendo the first time, it gave me a rainbow display. Meaning the game plays and everything all normal and stuff, it's like... You look at the TV and it's nothing but a rainbow display right on the screen, and it's like, ugh, why is it there? So that annoyed me a lot and pretty much made me conclude, hey, the AV slot is bad or something, because I tried out the Retro Gen with the Super Nintendo and it worked fine and dandy. So I contacted the seller who sold me the Super Nintendo in the first place, and I told him my problem. And he concluded that something like this has happened to him before alongside some other customers who have ordered Super Nintendos from him. And the solution was that the AC adapter was bad because it was an aftermarket adapter. And what it sounds like to me, because of the way the aftermarket AC adapter is, it probably didn't have enough volts to, to work the Super Nintendo properly. So, thankfully enough, the guy offered to send out another AC adapter for me out of pocket. Meaning out of his own pocket, and yeah. He sent it to me, I just got it today, and the Super Nintendo works flawlessly. So that is awesome. Now my Super Nintendo works properly. Now for the condition of the Super Nintendo itself, it does have some yellowing on it, mainly on the top. And there is a little bit of chip next to the LED light, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't really care all that much about the yellowing. I mean, sure, it's a bit of a chemical reaction when it comes to the plastic of the Super Nintendo, but hey, that's what you get with the old Super Nintendo. Most of them are going to be yellow anyway. I mean, sure, there is a way to reverse the process, but not really a point in trying to do that per se, because it would cost about as much as another Super Nintendo. But hey, what can you do? Some people like to do what they can to make it so it works. Or make it so the yellowing goes away. I haven't done this myself. And I don't think I'm going to be planning to do so at all. I mean, as long as the Super Nintendo works, that's what matters most to me. Well, with that, we pretty much finished our little discussion on the Super Nintendo today. We still got quite a bit of time left to go. Oh yeah, there is something else I want to talk about, and that is the recent Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I actually looked it up on YouTube and found the recent Nintendo Direct talking about the new Super Smash Bros. Coming for Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U. Holy crap, I am excited for that game. Oh my god, I want it, and I want it now. Oh man. I'm seriously looking forward to the game and what it has to offer. And also the recently announced character. What is the name of it again? I know it's something ninja. Whatever, I think it's one of the evolutionary forms of the frog Pokemon from Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Dang it, I done forgot its name. That's pretty dang sick. Well, I haven't played Pokemon X yet, okay? Haven't started playing it since I got it. Once again, pretty sad. Well, I want to beat Pokemon Black first. Hello? Anyone home? Working on that game occasionally. I mean, I've been playing some other games in the meantime, in between. And since I have been able to defeat the Fallen, I finally was able to catch up on some of the other games I've been playing. And one of the games I've had in my collection for quite some time, but never got around to playing, was Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I can't really say much as far as the story is concerned because I'm not that far in. I'm only about day 4, day 5. Yeah, something like that. I think it is day 4. Day 4 of the game, and I've only saw 2 of the main chaos things within the game itself. I did get a very lucky drop during my playthrough. Got one of the best weapons in the game. Also purchased all the DLC for the game recently because I wanted the DLC. I wanted to see the garbs and the costumes. And dang it, these garbs and costumes, they're some of the best in the game. I'm not freaking kidding. It's almost like pay to win, except it's not. Because it takes skill to use these garbs and use them to their fullest potential. So yeah, definitely enjoying it. I'm enjoying the game. I like it. I like the battle system. It can be a little complex, but whatever. At least it forces you to think on your feet. And it just feels like you gotta have the reflexes of a cheetah sometimes, especially during certain boss fights. Like, recently... Well, okay. I'm not gonna go into detail because that would be a spoiler, and I don't want spoilers on here right now.
Stand, soldier!
Wow, I've been so distracted by several other things I've forgotten to talk about these dragons. Well, there's nothing really to say about these dragons. They don't really... They just act like regular dragons. Except the Welkin dragon, it takes a lot more hits than the traditional dragon. Yeah, it takes a while. It really does, and they're also pretty powerful. But thankfully, they're not too bad. I mean, sure, sometimes they activate their little after-turn fire breath abilities, but for the most part, it's not that bad. At least you don't have to deal with an annoying time limit, unlike a certain boss who shall not be named ever again. But its brother is even worse. But another tale for another time. Now, one more thing I guess I will go ahead and talk about is... I also been looking around because I was bored, looking around on random YouTube videos, and I stumbled across what looks like a complete recreation of the Mario Kart 64 version of Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 8. Holy frickin' crap. They finally did it. I knew they had to remake that track sometime. They finally did it. I'm so freaking happy they did. Because it looks amazing! Sure, it's only one lap, divided by several checkpoints, but... is that only part of the beta phase, or can you adjust the number of laps on the track? I have no idea. But we'll have to we'll have to wait and see when the game comes out, which is only about a month away. How awesome is that? It should be released by the end of May. Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to the game. I'm not going to be looking up any additional information for the game because I want the rest to be a surprise. Because that's only the part of the fun of being a gamer. Just waiting for the game to be released and be surprised at what it has to offer. Oh, speaking of which, when it comes to the Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and Wii U, I also hear that there are going to be a little hush-hush when it comes to secret characters this time around, or hidden characters, unlockable characters, etc. Once again, it's going to be a surprising adventure. How awesome is that? My voice is cracking and that's not awesome. Air bubbles. I hate air bubbles. Well, I still got 9 minutes left to go and the dragon is almost dead. It's great. It's nice to hear that the dragon is almost dead. Oh, one more thing I guess I will mention is if your morale is high, then the dragons won't necessarily use their fire breath attacks. They'll instead try to lower your own morale via the desperate wall or something. Yeah, that's it. They'll try to use that to lower your morale. Lower it enough so one dragon can use its fire breath on you and ruin your day. Also, the Welkin Dragon does have a bit of a tendency to spam Chatexia, so be sure to use up all your moves before it uses Chatexia on you, otherwise you're going to fall to the ground and not be able to do anything as far as retaliation is concerned until the next turn. Because if you don't know what that move does, it drains one's AP to 0, or an entire union's AP to 0. So yeah, it's going to be taking quite a bit of time to take down these dragons. These dragons in the beach. Yeah, big pain in the butt. Spot. Goodness. Alright, let's see, what can I talk about now? Just trying to think for just a few short moments here. Oh, I guess one thing I forgot to mention, the Welkin Dragon does have an insta-kill effect, so that's not fun. Welkin Dragon, I hate it. Well, I hate the fact that it has the insta-kill ability. But thankfully the insta-kill effect, it doesn't have a high percentage. It really doesn't. Unlike Milton, whose insta-kill percentage is roughly around 99%, which is incredibly annoying, but it's there. It was annoying, but thankfully that was dealt with a long time ago. No, what else is there to say about this evil dragon? There really isn't much else to say. It's a dragon that's taken a lot of hits. It's taken quite a bit of a beating. Nice counter rush. Good work, good work. Why don't I talk about the Super Nintendo again? Because why not? Like I said earlier, the Super Nintendo now functions properly the way it should on the HD TV. No more rainbow effect, which is really nice. And I tested this out on several games. I tested it out on 2 Super Nintendo games and all the Sega Genesis games I have in my collection, along with the Retro Gen, obviously. So anyways, the games I tested it out on were Donkey Kong Country and Star Fox. Both work excellently, had no problems with either game. The Great Circus Mystery starring Mickey Mouse. I haven't tested that. I haven't tested that one yet, but from when I tested it before, when I first encountered the Rainbow Effect issue, it worked fine too. Just, again, the Rainbow Effect. But other than that, the game works perfectly. No problems. No problems at all. Now for the Sega Genesis games, once again, no problems with them. And the Retro Gen works with pretty much all of them, except for one combination. That's with Sonic & Knuckles and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 combined together. If you put the two of them on, then Retro Gen doesn't work. Why, I have no idea. Now, let's get back to this side quest. Now that we collected the flower, Loki is worried that Reyes is just going to reject him, just like everyone else has. So, he wants us to tell her that he died. But me? Well, let's say this. It's like, what? Why do you want me to tell her this? Why? Just why? Yeah, that's what I said. I think either option, she'll go and look for Loki herself anyway, so either option doesn't really matter. It's just a different line of dialogue, I suppose. And you know, this entire scene reminds me of an episode arc within Naruto Shippuden. And this was during the events of the Three Tails, when Orochimaru's henchman, Kabuto, wanted to control the Three Tails and create a Jinchuriki. But obviously Naruto stopped him from doing so. Because we don't need another Jinchuriki running around. And it's a terrible curse to have anyway. Yeah, that entire scene reminds me of that. Kinda odd, isn't it? Be sure to check out Naruto Shippuden now anyway. I would say it's available on Hulu Plus, but only the more recent episodes. Just to let you know. Why? I have no idea. Maybe they're working slowly yet surely to bringing the dubbed episodes over to Hulu Plus. Not really sure. But anyways, since we completed Loki's side quest, we now gained his parameter bonus too, which is really nice and awesome at the same time, which means now he is slightly stronger than before, which is excellent. We'll bring him back into the party sometime, maybe. Who knows? Will be of some help. Also, I'm checking my units, a couple of units, because they requested some equipment, and Glenn's took one of my best weapons. Whatever. I had a better weapon anyway, so I let her have it. And it makes her stronger and more useful too, so that's great. It's nice. It's nice to have a stronger person. Because I'm a nice guy. And I like being nice. Now, for the next side quest, that's actually going to be taking on the... We're going to be taking that on in the next video, but we're going to go ahead and initiate it now. In the next side quest and in the next video, we're going to be helping out Lord David overcome something and more or less his greatest regret. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This is General Snivy with Let's Play The Last Remnant. Thank you all once again so much for watching. Next time, Lord David's greatest regret.